And welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And the Lions have announced 4 new signings ahead of next season. And as a Lions fan, I must admit, not entirely blown away. And it's harsh, when you look at these things, because you don't want to be harsh to the players they have signed. They're good players. But I think, you look at where the Lions came up short this past season. You look at the Lions' DNA. You look at, how good they were not even that long ago and yet how much they've struggled. It's a batch of signings which speaks volumes of where the union is right now. And unfortunately sort of shows you what is wrong with the union right now in that they just do not have the financial power to compete with the other 3 franchises. That there's just no big name signings coming in. Absolutely none. And hopefully, we've seen a lot of players who have left other unions become really good at the Lions, and chances are they're out of the 4 players, I'm sure 1 or 2, 3, maybe even 3 or 4 of them are going to become mainstays and are going to become really solid options. But when you look at who the other franchises are signing, who they keep hanging on as well, to more to the point, it's just chalk and cheese. And you're sort of looking at it and thinking, well, if this is the only signings the Lions are going to be doing, if this is the only reinforcements they're going to be bringing in, it's going to be another long season. So before you look at the signings, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so these are the 4 that were announced yesterday. They are Richard Creel, former Lions and then Zebra, outside back. Eric Cornea, who's former Pumas and then Zebra center. Conrad van Vuuren from the Cheetahs and Xander du Plessis from the Griquas. Right, now, first of all, let's go through them, shall we? Richard Creel, brother of David Creel. It was an interesting move when he left the Bulls for Zebra. I think game time was probably the big thing for him. And, he left looking to try and find more game time. He's a talented young player. He's just 22 years old. I think he's turning 23 this year. So he's a talented player, but you're still looking and thinking, right, well, is he going to push Kieran Horn out of the fullback position of the Lions? No, he's not. Is he going to compete with Ange Garcia for the fullback issue? I'm not convinced. Is he going to bench, a Adolf van der Merwe or a Ras Montana? No, he isn't. So he's building to add to the depth, but certainly not sort of a superstar. We played a lot at Zebra. He didn't win a single game. Played a couple of games at Bulls, but yeah, I think he adds to the depth. You look at Eric Cornea, was very good at the Pumas, and I think that he could be quite a nice signing. Obviously, the Lions centre depth has been really challenged. When Henk van Veek got injured, we had to sort of look at Steven Pienaar played a bit there, and you look at some of the Lions centres options, and you just sitting there going, there's just not much depth. Marius Lowe goes down, and Manny Russ, for example, who played majority out of centre when Henk van Veek got injured. There's not much depth there, and Xander du Plessis will add to that as well. So because he can play in that centre, he can play pretty much anywhere in the backline. So he's quite a nice utility player to add to the squad. But again, you're looking at who's going to. I mean, I look at all these players, and I don't think any of these players are starters. And I think that's the biggest problem, isn't it? Conrad van Vuuren, also very talented young prop, and the nice thing about, I always feel quite good when we sign Franz Roas, because, well, props in particular, because Julian Redding has got a habit of turning talented or sort of even mediocre to solid props into really, really solid options. So, I think that he is going to do wonders here. But you just look at all 4 of these signs and think that none of them are starters, and I think that's the biggest problem with the Lions at the moment, is that you look at the squad and you think it's not a bad starting 15, not good enough, 2023, and we need to sort of add players into starting positions. My biggest problem over here is that we signed, an outside back, a centre, utility back, and a tight head. The Lions have got a massive issue at hooker, and they've got a massive issue at lock, and none of these are solving those issues. So one would hope that there are still more signings to come, because if this is it, it's going to be another long season. But let me know, what do you think of the signings down in the comments below? Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.